Hi guys, it's me Elaine. I'm back with another video. I just wanted to take the time to tell you guys a little more about myself and my background, experience, and why I'm doing what I'm doing, making these videos and lifting a lot of weight recently. So let's get started. First of all, I'm Filipino. I was born in Chicago, and when I was a baby, I was brought to the Philippines so that my mom could work here in America while my dad took care of me and my siblings in the Philippines. So I'm 100% Filipino. I speak Tagalog. Tagalog is my first language. I'm still fluent in Tagalog. And we still have some family in the Philippines, like my cousins and uncles and aunts and stuff. But my brothers and sisters and all of them are all here in America, in the Bay Area. So I'm the youngest of 5 kids. So the next eldest from me is 5 years older. And then after that, it's 8 years older than me, 10 years older than me. So I am the baby. So I've always been the baby of my family. So a lot of that translated into my adult life, where I don't know, I like being taken care of, which is coincidentally, Matt is one of the eldest in his family, and I'm one of the youngest in my family. So I think that dynamic definitely has a bit to do with why we work really well together. He's really good at taking care of people, and I'm very good at being taken care of. So works good. First of all, I'm a wife and I'm a mom. I had my son AJ, he's 13. I had him really early age. I had him when I was 18. So I was a single mom for a few years until I met Matt. We were married when AJ was 7 years old. And so that was like a really hard time in my life, just because I had to go to college, and it was hard, but it actually went by really fast because of how busy I was in college and working and having a kid and all that. So actually time went by really fast, and before you knew it, I was married, and now I have another baby. Her name's Maddie. She is almost 10 months old. More about my athletic background. So basically, when I lived in the Philippines for 7 years, we used to play outside a lot, and even when I was a kid here in America, I used to be outside playing all the time, and my brothers and I would play basketball, throw the football around and stuff. I was briefly part of a softball team in middle school, but in high school I joined cross country. I also did wrestling, and I did track. So that is where a lot of my competitive fire actually first got lit up, because I just noticed, I think my first cross country race was, I think, the first competitive thing I did that I was really serious about, and I peed my pants. So basically we had I think it was like a 2-mile race or a 3-mile race, and I was running up the hill, and I don't know, the competition was nice because it's like go time. There's like no practicing, there's no stopping, it's just going. The problem is I really had to go pee, but I didn't know where to use the bathroom or what, so I just ran and peed at the same time. And yeah, that was another pants disaster moment for me. After that, I was, pretty committed to being competitive in whatever I was doing. So like in wrestling, that feeling of just like turning it on at the moment and just going with whatever you've got at the moment. There's no, all your preparation is done. You just have to lay it all out there. And I think that is what I love so much about sport. And that is what drives me to now pursue to be competitive in weightlifting. In my early 20s, I was really into going to the gym and doing dumbbell workouts with free weights and, lunges, squats. Also, spin class was a big part of my life. And I also became a spin class instructor, and I did that, and I really, really enjoyed it. I loved the people, the music, the cardio. I loved that I could work out while choosing my own music, and I didn't have to get in line for my own class. So it was a win-win situation for me. So I did that for a couple years. I was also really into running. I did a couple half marathons. I liked it because I burned a lot of calories, to be honest, but I didn't really enjoy it. Like, I didn't really look forward to training and running. I liked the race day. Adrenaline was amazing, but I didn't like training and running, so it wasn't that fun for me, so it didn't really last. And I also was really, really big into Bikram yoga before. I practiced it daily for at least like 2 years consistently. So that was actually something I considered becoming an instructor in. But the only drawback that I didn't like was that you couldn't practice it while you were teaching it or leading a class. So, and it's 90 minutes long per class. So I didn't really pursue that. And then Matt got me into starting CrossFit, and I remember thinking like, oh, I don't want to get bulky and all that. He's like, don't worry, I like bigger women, or I like a women with muscles. So I was like, okay, well, if you're gonna be okay with it, fine. But did that, and so I fell in love with lifting the weights part of CrossFit. And I did like we definitely did one CrossFit competition, and that was a lot of fun. So I actually decided to go to a different gym to get better at weightlifting for CrossFit. And then when I switched to that, my whole mind was just blown. The gears just completely shift. And weightlifting training, again, like I said in my other video, is completely different sport from CrossFit. And I just got hooked. And as soon as I did my first competition in November 2016, I just fell in love with it. I loved competing. I loved the pressure, and I love lifting the weights and training for those competitive moments. And I actually look forward to training every day. I don't dread coming to the gym. I enjoy it. I love the programming. It's always switched up every 6 weeks. It goes into cycles, so it's never like the same exact thing every time you come to the gym for months on end. And that's something different because, like I said, I really did not look forward to when I used to do running and all that. And I never went back to CrossFit. It was a good workout, but I don't know. I just fell in love with weightlifting. So I realized I can't do both because if I do CrossFit, it really takes away from my full weightlifting experience. So I stopped doing that and just focused mainly on the weightlifting. And then in 2016, like I said, that's when I started doing weightlifting exclusively. And then in 2017, in March, I found out I was pregnant. April. I got pregnant in March, but I found out in April when I was feeling really lethargic all the time and didn't know why. And I took a pregnancy test, and lo and behold, I was pregnant with Maddie. We've been kind of trying, but because it wasn't happening, we just kind of weren't too stressing ourselves out too much about it. So I was like happy, but at the same time a little bit sad because I wanted to continue weightlifting training, and I knew that I wouldn't be doing that, with pregnant with a baby. But I still did do quite a bit of working out while I was pregnant, but definitely nothing serious, weightlifting training, like 3 hours at the gym and stuff. And after I had Maddie, I came back to the gym in February this year. I had her in December. I had to just be careful and listen to my body, just like I did when I listened to my body when I was pregnant. Now the problem is the healing after I came back, and the pelvic floor muscles and the abdominal muscles. Those are two sides of your core. Well, your core is like a box, and so after you have a baby, the pelvic floor and the abdominal wall are very, very sensitive and very weak. And so I had to really listen to my body again and not go too far where I felt like I was making either one of those muscles worse. So it was a slow comeback, and now I've done like a few competitions, and my pelvic floor is still something I am daily conscious of and try to incorporate pelvic floor strengthening exercises into my routine during the week. That's more of my athletic. And then professionally, I'm a certified registered nurse anesthetist. I got my bachelor's degree in nursing, and then I went back. I worked as a nurse for 2 years or something, and then I went back and got an advanced nursing license. So if you guys know what a nurse practitioner is, that's also an advanced nursing license, such as what else? A nurse midwife or a clinical nurse specialist. Certified registered nurse anesthetists are one of those advanced nursing degrees that you can get. I specifically only do anesthesia for regular surgery, as well as obstetrics for people who are laboring, who need epidurals, or if they're having a C-section, they need spinals and stuff, or people having regular surgery, scheduled or unscheduled. I really like what I do, and so I've been doing that now for 3 years almost. Oh my God, time flies so fast. Basically, I got into that because I wanted to do something else because I wasn't really happy with my career as a nurse. I was working in the ICU, and I just didn't like it. The money was good, but I didn't get a lot of job satisfaction. So I knew someone who went into CRNA school and told me that they loved it. And then I shadowed somebody who worked in that field, and they loved it. So I decided to take the plunge and apply. Probably doing that program was one of the hardest things I did, but it definitely paid off, and I really am very happy with my career. So it's definitely a great profession. I love it. I have a lot of job satisfaction. I enjoy the patients I take care of. Especially, I love being there for people during like pretty much some of the most vulnerable times in their lives, and being able to be there for them and help people and feel better and feel less anxious about the things that are about to happen to them and take care of them while they're under anesthesia, I think is the real rewarding part of the job for me. And as well as working with people that I really like. So that is what I do for a living professionally. And then athletically, I do train in weightlifting full time. And currently also doing the Insanity program with Matt together for reasons that I can't share because I don't want to incriminate my husband. But I'm showing him some support by participating. I don't think if it gets to the point where it's affecting my weightlifting, I think I'll definitely stop or try to, I don't really try to go full force. Sorry, baby. But I just, go through the motions and be there for him, support him, and get a little extra cardio in for myself. So that is what I'm currently doing. And trying to be a good mom. AJ is 13. It's being a mom to a teenager. Like, I don't know how many out there, if you guys have a teenager or had one before. Help! Just kidding. It's a really difficult time, so dealing with that and trying to keep my cool, trying to be understanding and as empathetic as possible, at the same time praying that, like any other parent, praying that he turns out decent and doesn't hang out with the wrong crowd and, does his homework, does good, but I know he's a good person. It's just a phase everyone has to go through. And also I have my baby. She's going through teething right now, but she's okay. Just we're training her to sleep in her own crib, so that's been messing with my sleep a little bit. Matt and I met in 2012. We were married by March of 2013. We were introduced by one of our really good friends, someone I went to high school with. They were in the Army together, so Matt's a veteran, an Army veteran. They went to Korea, and then they came back to Monterey, and then I went to go visit my friend in Monterey, and that's how Matt and I basically met and fell in love, and we were pretty much inseparable ever since the day that we've been introduced to each other. We have not been apart since that day. So we were married less than a year later, and basically the thing that glue that pretty much I knew he was the one, and the thing that keeps us together is our strong faith in God. When I was 12 years old, I was Catholic when I was, before that, but my neighbor was Christian, and she basically introduced me to like Baptist Christian, and we had like Bible studies at her house. But at that time I was like kind of young. I believe in God, I believe in Jesus, but I felt really restricted. I felt like there were so many rules. I felt like if I was Christian, I can't watch MTV or watch movies that, were action movies that have, curse words in it, or I just felt really restricted, and I felt like it was not really God was watching me, but my neighbor was watching and judging me. So I didn't really have like a good foundation or a good relationship with God at that time, but I did definitely believed and loved God. And getting into my early 20s, and you know how that goes. Some of you, like, early 20s, when you're dating, you're out there, you're trying to have fun, meeting new people, trying to discover who you are as a person, as an adult, independent of your parents. And I was having a really rough time, and, dating and feeling pretty much terrible, even though professionally I was doing pretty good. But, and as a mother, I was doing pretty good, but I felt very empty inside. And my mom gave me a book called Purpose Driven Life by Rick Warren. It's like a daily devotional, and right when I started reading it, day one, I started just really bawling because I felt Jesus like hug me, and I just felt all of the void that I've been trying to fill with all sorts of things like friends and going out and family. Like nothing actually really helped. Like I was so depressed, I think, and I was trying to fill that void inside of me. But just reading about how much God loves me, and I don't know, it just all of a sudden instantly filled all of that void. And that was maybe in my early 20s. I'm right around the time I was about to meet Matt. And so it was like really God presenting himself in a different way that I responded to, and I think Matt was around the same phase. Matt had background is kind of different. He accepted God when he was in middle school at a camp, a church camp, and then he, again, like me, kind of fell into the world and never lost a relationship, but kind of lost the practice. And so, anyways, he was ready to come back to church. He's a worship leader, and so he did that for many years in the past, and then joined the army, and then had to stop doing that. We were ready to join, and we pretty much, that was the main thing that tied us together, was that strong faith. And now we've been part of 3 churches. When we lived in Monterey, we were part of Calvary. We lived in Berkeley. We were part of Sanctuary Berkeley. And now that we're in the South Bay, we go to True North Church. We're about to start leading our own small group, and so I'm really excited for that. We've been part of a small group in our church since pretty much we started dating. We joined we joined Monterey Church in Monterey, and plugged into a small group, and it was amazing. And so I hope that this new season for us is gonna be awesome. We're gonna be leading our own small group, and we're gonna be very blessed by all the people that are gonna come into our home and share with us their lives. And so I can't wait to do that. That's pretty much what brings me a lot of joy, and I'm really busy. I'm really busy, but I love it. I have my baby and like this amazing husband that I'm doing Insanity with. I love him so much that I'm willing to endure Shanti for another round. We've done Insanity maybe twice before or 3 times before. All right, fine. I'll let you guys in on a little thing between us. Okay, so whenever we feel like we've fallen off the track with our diet or to the extreme, we always have an inside joke like, oh, so fit test on Monday. So that's basically what spurred this on, is one of us felt that way. And so fit test on Monday. So what happened a couple weeks ago, and that is why now we are in week 3 of being insane. All right, I went into a lot of details or facts. I hope that this gives you guys a little more insight on who I am as a person and just some of my beliefs. And also I learned that, as I'm getting older, well, not that much older, I'm like 31. I just felt like, okay, I made an observation that since I was in my early 20s and up till now, my early 30s, I feel like I've really matured, but I feel like there have been times before where I felt like, oh yeah, like I've got everything under control. I understand a lot of things. But now as I'm in my early 30s, I realize how wrong I had it all. I still feel like I don't have it all together, but I am confident that I'm going to become even more mature, that maybe 10 years from now I'll be wiser maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But I do enjoy when my mom tells me about all her wisdom and all the stuff that she has to tell me. Sometimes before in the past, I would just kind of brush it off or not really roll my eyes, but kind of put her comments to the side on the back burner. And then later on, I think like, oh, okay, she was kind of right. Now I'm wise enough at least to know right away that she's pretty right on. So again, listen to your mom. She has good advice. So now I've become a little wiser, listening to my mom more. Sometimes when you're first told something, you get a little defensive, but just let it sit there. Don't make a reaction right away. And then later you realize, okay, there was something to that. And so that goes for you husbands when we tell you something. Oh, just kidding. Love you, baby. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. And I hope you guys continue watching these videos. I really enjoy making them. This is something really fun that Matt and I decided to do together a couple months ago. We wanted to be creative and think of more things that we just wanted to do to be creative and that involved things that we liked. I guess one of the things I learned about Matt is that he always wanted to do photography in the past. I did not know that. So now his dreams, videography and photography dreams are coming to life. We have a lot of equipment. I mean a lot. So I'm hoping to make more amazing videos with my husband. He's been helping me make these awesome videos. So if you guys see how great the sound quality is, the video quality, he's been really good. And I hope you guys subscribe to my channel. I'm really thankful. All of my subscribers are like friends, family, coworkers who've shown me a lot of support and a lot of love. So I really appreciate you guys. I hope to continue making these videos and hopefully get better at the content, get better at the video, get better, more comfortable in front of the camera. And I'll be making just whatever videos you guys suggest. Leave them in the comments below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. A lot of equipment. Hold on. Well, this is not a video thing, but... Oh. I'm talking about equipment. Like, you don't even know. I'm talking equipment. Oh, this thing, Ronin S. Oh my God. Link down below. Yes, guys, we have a lot of equipment. So I'm not really sure what a lot of these things do, but they make my video awesome, so I care about it.